What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with another Raid Shadow Legends video. And boy, do we have some interesting stuff to talk about today. It's Tuesday, so Clan vs. Clan is active. We're going to be running some Clan vs. Clan in the background. Unfortunately, I don't like this event at all anymore, and I really wish they would just get rid of it. But that's something for a separate video. What I kind of want to talk about today is what's been swirling around the raid community here the last couple of days. All the drama that's going on with this cheat engine, speed hacks, all these other tools that people are using. It's an issue that's dividing the community, it seems. It's unfortunate. And I wanted to take a couple days to kind of get my thoughts together on this before I sort of talked about it, because there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of sides telling their side of the story and things, and people saying he said, she said, etc. You know, all that's going on. It's pretty typical when things like this happen. But we can kind of go back to last week. I believe it was Thursday. A raid content creator, BGE, went and made a video that basically showed this cheat engine program. Now, his original intention was to come out and say, hey, this is bad for the game. People are using this to cheat, you know, whether it's in tournaments or arena or clan versus clan. And originally, I believe, had good intentions behind it. I actually do appreciate the fact that he brought it to light. I salute him for that. I think he did a good job with that, but I'm going to talk about why the implementation was kind of not the best here in just a minute. So he makes this video, and I've watched it several times just to make sure, you know, I'm not saying anything that he didn't do in it. To make sure I get it right. But from the video, basically, he goes in, he shows you the website where you can get the cheat engine. It's got the web page. He says you can go do a Google search for it. He shows you how to download it. Now, he doesn't tell you to do any of this. Just let me get that clear to begin with. But he does basically show the entire process of where you can get the tool, how to download the tool, and then he minimizes the raid game while he opens the tool, goes into the raid.exe, and essentially, even though he doesn't tell you that you can go get it or to go get it, he's basically showing how the whole entire process works. And that's unfortunately where the problem comes in, because it's pretty much a clear violation of the terms of service with Plarium. And I know people are going to hate that, but you know, this is the way the world works, unfortunately. When you get older, you kind of get into these things, but a private company can basically set their rules and tell you what what you have to do if you want to play their game. That applies for anywhere else, you know. Any type of private company can make their own rules for you to interact with their business. So, and we as content creators know this because we have to sign, at least I had to sign some paperwork before I joined the content creator program. And one of the things that's specifically on there is you will not show cheat programs. You won't tell people how to use them, which he did not, you know, but he did show it, and that's where the issue comes into play. So you post the video, and the reaction is not great. I will say this I'm going to try to talk about what goes on in the content creator chat area without giving away too much, because I really, you know, probably not supposed to do that, but you know, who cares? So basically, he posts the video and comes to content creator chat and says, hey, was everybody aware of this that's going on? And the reaction he got was not a good reaction. Basically because this had been addressed by some of the content creators that have been in the program for a long time. They'd already shown this to Plarium. They already kind of knew about it. And supposedly they were doing something about it, but that's been over a year from what I understand. Now, some of us content creators are new. I've only been in the program for 6 months, so obviously I wasn't aware of this. And basically, I don't think BG knew this either, because he's I think relatively newer to the content creator program. He is one of the better free-to-play content creators out there, because he basically did everything in the game free-to-play before he joined the program. I know a lot of people give him crap because they're like, oh, you're in the program, you're getting free stuff from Plarium, you're not really free-to-play. But he actually did complete Faction Wars to Lydia. He did basically everything he could do in the game up to the point he was at before he joined the program. So I wanted to kind of clear that up too. But that's basically where a lot of the problems came from. I know a lot of people are coming out saying like, oh, people are just against him and against Stu Gaming, who also has come out pretty vocal against this. But really most of it stemmed from the fact that instead of coming to them first and saying, hey, is everybody aware of this? It was more like we made the video and we had to be first to report it, as they say in the news. to get the video out there so it would start getting some buzz and getting some views, which obviously it did. It's one of his highest viewed videos that he's probably ever had, just from looking at his page. So the issue here that I had was, again, I think it's great that he came out and drew awareness to this, because obviously if Plarium's known about this for over a year and supposedly has been doing something about it, maybe it's time to kind of kick the tires a little bit, get that fire lit. But I think it would have been better if he had just made a video saying, hey, there's this program, it's a problem, this is what it does, and it's an issue. And, you know, Plarium needs to do something about this. I think that would have been perfect. And I don't think we would have had nearly the uproar that we have now. It would have just been like, oh man, there's this program people are using in the game, and it's not good for the game, and you know, they're cheating in tournaments, they're doing this and that. I think that would have been the better approach to take. I think the way he went about it, unfortunately, was problematic because it did show the use of the actual program. And in this day and age on the internet, if you show people steps on how something works, more often than not, they're going to go and they're going to try it out. So that's basically my take kind of on the whole thing. Again, I really do commend him for sticking with his guns and coming out on this. He's made several other videos afterwards about it, and it's unfortunately divided the community a lot. A lot of people are on BG and Stu Gaming side. A lot of people are on the side of you're all cheaters, you know, content creators suck and all this other stuff. So there's just been all this kind of crazy drama that's blown up over the last couple of days. Now, I want to give my stance on this because I'm coming at this from kind of a different viewpoint, because I'm going to sit here and say that I have never actually used a third-party application in any game ever. So I was a little bit miffed when Stu came out and he said every single content creator is using this, every single content creator is cheating at the game using this program, because I personally don't use it. I personally have never used third-party software with Raid or any other game. I'm a bit of a boomer, maybe that's why. Even going back to like the World of Warcraft when I first started in the Burning Crusade, it was like, oh, use these mods, use these quest mods, use it. I'm like, nah, it's good. I just play the game. And I don't play Raid competitively. I don't care that much about the game. It's just something, it's fun for me. It's a hobby. It's something that got me back excited about content creation again. I don't do any end-game stuff. I mainly just focus on free-to-play. I'm here to show off cool, unique champions that people maybe don't know about. You know, rare champions like Grappler that I've done videos on. I'm not here to do any of the in-game stuff, be ultra competitive, push Platinum Arena, etc., etc. So I honestly, a lot of this stuff doesn't affect me. It doesn't bother me that much. You know, if people are trying to speed up the game, I think that more shows that that is a problem in the game that Plarium needs to address and probably has not done a good enough job of addressing. But I just wanted to kind of get that out there that, you know, I personally myself don't use these programs, and I know several content creators that don't use any of these programs. So I was kind of, I wish he wouldn't have lumped us all in one basket, because now a lot of content creators are getting hate. You know, people are coming out saying you guys are a bunch of cheaters, you know, and it's just like, it's caused a lot of unnecessary stuff that really we shouldn't be having to deal with. But so Plarium did come out, and they did wind up suspending BGE and Stu from the content creator program for a month. And that's public knowledge. I don't think I shouldn't get in trouble for saying that, because everybody knows it at this point. Several videos have been made on this already. But, of course, Stu came out after BGE made his video and was a bit more blatant in his response, which is kind of why I like Stu, because Stu is like that guy that holds the company, holds their feet to the fire, holds the company accountable. And he basically came out and was like, I'm going to use it, you know, this is what's what. And you got to appreciate that with Stu. You're always going to know where you stand with him. So he's made a couple of videos after that, how he's going to hold the company accountable. He's going to track this, you know, using another account and see if they actually do ban anyone. Because Plarium did come out and basically said, we don't want people using this cheat engine. They did specify that things like auto clickers, you know, the tuners people are using to roll their gear faster are okay. You can find the official announcements, you know, on Plarium, you know, on the Discord for Raid. But they came out and basically said that today. So they've both been suspended from the program for a month, and told that, you know, if they comply and get back in good standing, they'll be back next month. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out. It's going to be interesting. That'll be its own drama, I'm sure, when it comes back to, you know, if they do come back into the program, because, you know, I'm going to be honest, the content creator program for Raid is, I don't know, it's the content creator chat there's really nothing useful there. There's nothing that goes on there that really makes much of a difference. It's mostly just random drama throughout the week, people complaining about something or other. I don't think the company even listens to us on there. I think they just sort of give that to us to kind of appease us and make us think that our voice is heard. But I really don't think that it's not really that much. Stu and BG aren't going to be missing out on much not being in the creator chat. They'll be missing out on like announcements that we usually get, unfortunately, like a day before you guys do, or maybe even like 2 hours before you guys do. But I don't really think they'll be missing out on too much there. But again, I think it's unfortunate. I think the intentions were good. Unfortunately, they were not pursued in a manner that worked out well for anyone. And you kind of unfortunately have to look at them getting suspended and sort of say, well, it kind of had to happen. Now, some people have been saying they should have been banned from the game because other people have had their accounts banned for doing this. And that gets kind of into a little bit of a slippery slope, because I can kind of see both sides of that. On one hand, the intentions behind it were good, so maybe they should have only got the suspension because it helps Plarium hopefully fix the game. It hopefully brings changes to the game. On the other hand, it's a violation of the terms of service. If it was a normal player that did this, they'd most likely be banned. And some people don't think it's a big deal, but you have to look at Plarium's history and how people sort of view the content creators already. There's been a lot of shady stuff that's gone on with Plarium and the content creators, whether it was Draco Gate. There was also a time period where the content creators were given legendary champions and were told basically not to tell anyone about it, and it got out and it was a big uproar, and some of the content creators wound up feeding their legendary champions on stream or whatever. So there's already a precedent set where people don't really trust the relationship between content creators and the company, and that goes for a lot of games. That goes for, I can go back to when I was with Warframe and when I did content for Destiny. There's definitely a trust issue there, that people think that all of us content creators were out to support the company and always, side with the company, but that's not entirely true. But unfortunately with Plarium, it's kind of tough now because they've had so many issues where it's been found out they did shady stuff with content creators that they kind of have to enforce this, or else they're going to look real bad. And they do kind of look bad for just doing a suspension and not a full ban. But I don't want to see anybody get fully banned, but I would not necessarily oppose it if either of them had been, because of the reason that the past, we have the past behavior from Plarium. And I guess we'll see what happens going forward, because hopefully this does lead to some changes with the game, giving us more speed in the game. But I also have something I want to add on that. I see a lot of people calling for a ×4 speed. Plarium said they are unable to do it from a technical perspective. And I see a lot of people calling BS on this. I've seen people comparing it to, say, like Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, Marvel Strike Force, other games that have speed up in the game. And what I've been trying to tell people on that is they may actually not be BSing on this, because if you think about Raid is a very graphic intensive game compared to most mobile games. It's hard to run it on some older phones. It's hard to run it on some older computers if you're running the PC client. Now, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, Marvel Strike Force, 2 games I played extensively to end game. I know all about those games. I also played a game called DC Legends pretty extensively. And I know in those games, when you speed up to like the X4 speed, it actually turns off some of the animations. It turns off some of the sound effects to save memory in the game so the game can run faster. Now, if you look at Raid, which I think is designed more optimized to run on a PC, there's so many complicated champion animations in this game. There's so many boss animations. There's all kinds of special effects. There's numbers. There's, fire. There's all kinds of stuff going on. It's possible they could update the speed for the PC side. I don't know if they could do it on the mobile app. And that's, I think, a point a lot of people are missing, is that this may be something where they could do it for one side but not the other. And if you do it on PC, everyone's already talking about people using, all these third-party programs have this unfair advantage. PC's got an unfair advantage over mobile because you can play the game faster. You would have a massive uproar if Plarium came out and did something that only affected the PC crowd and only benefited the PC part of the game. It would be kind of like when I think Xbox One and PlayStation 4 first came out, and you had a lot of developers I know 343 was catching a lot of crap for this. Bungie caught a lot of crap for this when they basically said, yes, you know, you can play the current iteration of the game. We'll take Destiny for an example. Destiny came out on the Xbox 360. It was also available on the Xbox One, and then it reached a point in its life cycle where Bungie said, hey, technically we only can do stuff to benefit the game on the Xbox One, so we're now switching all the content on the game is going to be played on the Xbox One. So everybody, of course, who had an Xbox 360 was in a big uproar, like, oh, now I have to go buy another $500 console if I want to keep playing the game that I'm playing. So basically, if you do the same thing with getting the speed up, but it only works on the PC and not the mobile app, you run into a whole another PR disaster, and we know how much Plarium enjoys their PR disasters. So, yeah, that's kind of me playing devil's advocate. I'm not sure if they actually can do it. They might be able to, and they might just be BSing us, and that's another thing I'll sort of close with here, is that I think Plarium just in general here needs to do a much better job of communicating things with this game. I don't know if it's a communication issue, I don't know if it's a language issue, a cultural issue, but it just seems like they never want to give any information about what's going on. They could save themselves so much trouble by just giving us a little bit of information here and there. You know, they do all these ask me anythings, and they never really answer any questions. They always talk around in circles. You know, oh, it's coming soon. Oh, we'll tell you next time. Oh, we can't say anything about that. It's just the typical, you know, it's almost like politicians. You can't really get any information out of what they're saying. And I'm running into that myself too. I'm going to give a little personal tidbit. This is kind of another reason I wanted to weigh in on this, because, you know, I'm in the content creator program, but at the same time, I do YouTube for a hobby. Raid is not my job. I don't do this for a living, so I can kind of say things that other people might be afraid to say because they're worried about their relationship with Plarium. I personally don't care. If you guys know me from when I did Destiny content, I had no issue at all going after developers for stupid things they were doing. And I've been having my own issues with Plarium, quite honestly. It's actually been, I think, last week and the week before that, I actually did not get my content creator perks. So I kind of, you know, it was over a holiday weekend, I think, for them. So on Monday, I was, you know, talking with them privately and was like, hey, you know, didn't get my creator perks on Friday like we normally do. You know, everybody gets the notification. Everybody gets sent out their perks on Friday, and if there's different tiers. So the big boys like Stu and all everybody else, they're on one tier, and then, you know, they've shown what the tiers are. So again, this should be an issue talking about it. And then people like me, I'm down in tier 1. I don't really get anything, honestly. It's nothing game breaking. Like, it's a couple of chickens and some gems and like enough silver to maybe roll a piece of gear to 12. It's nothing important. It's nothing that's going to break my, you know, lifestyle, break the bank. It's not. It's a nice bonus. I'm not in the content creator program to get the perks. I joined the content creator program to hopefully help out with the game and, you know, get things that you guys want done in the game, hopefully to Plarium, so they can see what the complaints are, what the feedback is. But of course, I don't think any of that ever happens. So I asked them, I said, you know, just wanted to check and see what's going on. So they came back and were like, okay, we manually uploaded them, but just to let you know, you didn't hit the analytics last week, and that was why. We're kind of just doing this, you know, we really need to see you get your analytics back up. And so I was kind of confused, because we do have an analytics, depending what tier you're in, you need to hit a certain amount of views every week. Well, they don't specify what it is. They just say your weekly views. They don't tell you it has to be on the raid videos. They don't tell you it has to be on, you know, a certain demographic or what it is. They're just like, you have to have 3,000 views a week. It's very broad. It's not well defined like everything else with them. And so I go into my YouTube analytics and I'm like, well, okay, I know that's number one, a bunch of crap, because I average between 5,000 and 6,000 views a week on my channel. And I checked it on my YouTube analytics. I checked it on Social Blade. And first off, I'm like, I don't even know how they're figuring out that information in the first place, because they don't have access to any of my YouTube analytics. So I took screenshots of everything out of my personal YouTube account, and I sent them to them, and I said, well, here you go. Here's my analytics that show I'm nearly double what I have to be for the weekly analytics. So what's going on? You know, I said, you know, I was very polite about it. You know, I said, look, you know, I need to understand what you're looking at so I know what I need to improve. Because if you know, here's what I'm looking at. Here's my analytics that clearly show I'm within the realm of what I need to be in. But you're telling me something different. So I asked him, I said, where are you getting your analytics from? What did you look at? What exact numbers are you seeing? Here's the numbers I'm seeing, which clearly show I'm within the threshold. So please let me know what you're looking at and where I need to look so that I can be better versed in this and know exactly what I need to do. and that was almost 2 weeks ago. I have not heard back anything from them. Nothing. It's been radio silence since. And then I didn't get my perks this week either. So at this point, I honestly don't care. I mean, I got to be honest with you guys. I'm getting to the point in Raid where I really just, I don't care. You know, I actually just did buy the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I'm going to start playing that again. Probably put that on the channel definitely, because I used to do a bunch of Mass Effect content. I've canceled my raid card. I don't have the raid card anymore, which was the $10 a month thing to get you the extra auto battles. So that's going to run out at the end of this month. I'm tired of clan versus clan. I hate this game mode. It's like, if you want to help your clan, you got to hold all your resources for 2 weeks and then dump it all in. So it's like you can't even play the game between that time. It's also bad for, you know, lower level clans, because basically what's happening now is, with this being the 4th iteration, if you're not getting those reaction accessories, you're just simply not going to be able to compete in Gold and Platinum Arena. So anybody that has the desire, that wants to push up there, they're going to have to jump to a higher tier clan. That's just, you know, it's going to destroy the lower clans at some point if it hasn't already. And there's even some clans that are dropping down intentionally, like a couple of tiers, to try to pub stomp a little bit and get some of those accessories. So it's just, this game's in a really weird spot right now. And we should all be excited about the AI changes that are coming out, but unfortunately this drama kind of hit, and then we got clan versus clan this week. And like I said, I'm just kind of at a point with this game where it's take it or leave it. You know, I'm logging in and I'm playing and I'm still enjoying it, but at the end, you know, I've already decided for the month of June, like, I'm not spending any money on this game. You know, there's a lot better things I could be doing. I'm at the point now where the only things I have left on my main account to do is to finish Faction Wars, which I'm actually, I think, fairly close to getting Lydia, finish Hard Doom Tower, and then attempt to Platinum push in Arena. But if we're being honest here, trying to push Platinum for me, I would have to spend several $1,000s on Void Shards, and that's just simply not going to happen. Currently, I spend maybe between $100 and $200 a month on this game, and that's just simply coming from the money that I used to use to buy gas, because I went from having to drive a couple thousand miles a month to not driving at all. So I have a little bit of extra expendable income from not needing to put gas in my car, not having to go to the movies or go out to dinner with friends and all that stuff. So that money kind of goes into Raid. It's kind of my fun money to enjoy a little bit, but I'm not going to sit here and buy thousands of dollars worth of Void Shards trying to pull, you know, the Hegemons, the Krisks, the Sifis, you know, trying to get those meta champions that you really do kind of need to push the upper levels. So there's just not much left in the game for me right now. Clan boss is kind of one of the few things I look at. I really enjoy the community. I enjoy my clan that I'm in, the Discord I'm in, and that's really all that's keeping me in this game right now. So I just kind of more of a personal standpoint for where I stand on this game. But anyways, long story short, I've rambled on this long enough. Again, I kind of do, like I said, give kudos to Stu, give kudos to BGE. I think it's great that they came out and did this. I think the way, again, I think, you know, BGE had good intentions. I definitely believe that. I think just the implementation of his video, the way he went about it, just not the proper way to do it. Should not have shown everybody how to go and do it. And that's unfortunately why there had to be consequences for what he did. Everybody's saying, oh, the whistleblower is always getting blamed, which, you know, that is kind of true in real life. But I think it all could have been avoided if he had just said, you know, here's this thing, it's a problem with the game, and you know, that's it. And we could have gone from there. Instead, you know, unfortunately, he kind of showed, without telling people to do it, he kind of did show them how to do it. This is the internet in 2021. You show people how to do something online, they're probably going to go and try it, unfortunately. So that's it. That's kind of my take on this whole thing. Again, didn't mean for this to be such a long video. Clan versus clan going on now. We do have the tournament coming up for Plarium's 12th anniversary, which people are assuming there's going to be a Draco involved in that, so that is going to get out of hand for sure. But also might be a way for them to test to see who is actually using this cheat engine, which they have now said you will get banned for using, so we'll see what happens. And we'll see if this actually does lead to any positive changes in the game, but I can't help but say that I'm kind of doubtful about that. So anyways, we'll see. That's going to do it for this video, guys. As always, if you have any questions about anything, if you have any comments, I'm sure you guys have comments on what's going on with this, feel free to leave them down below, and I'll do my best to respond to everybody as soon as I can. As always, I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you again next time.